What's up, guys? Got a video response for you today for the Dreadful Minute. He started this thread talking about albums that fit with the Halloween season that aren't the super obvious ones. So, no Merciful Fates, no King Diamond, no Typo Negative, no Misfits, things like that. No Acid Witch, Halloween. So this was kind of tough to compile at first, but then it just kind of started flowing eventually, you know what I mean? So it's really, really cool. I like this idea a lot. I really wanted to make a Halloween themed video, but I didn't want to make a video being like, oh dude, check out Don't Break the Oath. I don't think that was necessary. But we are listening to Paradise Lost by Sir Thungle in the background. I kind of considered this to be one of the bands that was too obvious to put in the video, so I decided against it and made it an honorable mention. 1976, this record, I believe. Gold. Oh, sorry, 1991. The cover art was painted in 76. Sir Thungle's great. You guys have all heard it. So this first one was one of the ones that I kind of thought were a border album, kind of in between Too Obvious and something that I could use. So I just decided to use it because it's one of my favorite albums for the Halloween season, being Death Penalty from Witchfinder General. I believe they have just the two albums, this one and Friend of Hell. This one's a lot better, I think. Friend of Hell's got some poppiness to it, and that's part of the reason I kind of justified using this one. It's a little spookier, and it's top shelf, dude. But yeah, it's a spooky, kind of doomy New Wave British heavy metal album. You guys have all heard this. What more can I really say other than just rambling about the same stuff? Next is Odyssey and Oracle by The Zombies. The Zombies are kind of a psychedelic rock band from the mid-60s, I think. This might be their debut, and this is 1968. So this is a really kind of spooky organ-based band, really. That's the main shtick, is the organ. I would also probably put the Doors in this list, being that kind of a style. But this is a lot spookier, and the Doors are a lot more artsy. This is just kind of creepy. It sounds like some of the music you'd hear in like the early Scooby Doo cartoons from the late 60s. I think you could get on this train if you guys don't know. This is the same band that makes that song, "It's the Time of the Season." That's this band. It's a great, great tune. It's a great album, man. Can't go wrong. Next, not necessarily as much of a Halloween-specific album as much as it's just a fall album for me. This is Orchid by Opeth. This is a top-shelf album, and I believe that this is a different album entirely compared to anything later. The only real transition period, I think, was Morning Rise, and it was kind of more of this style. A little bit of blackened tinge, almost, I would say, but it's super melodic, and it just it sounds like fall leaves to me, it sounds like the smell of the forest with the fresh rainfall. It's a beautiful album. It really, really is. Under the Weeping Moon's a classic one. The Twilight is My Robe. Forest of October, I mean, that's probably why it's very fitting. It's just a wonderful, wonderful album. I'm sure you guys have all heard that. Next is actually a CD that's not mine. This is a CD from my girlfriend's collection, which is over there. It's a little, like 100-piece collection of CDs. But we listened to this while pumpkin carving last night, and I am actually pretty impressed with how much I kind of like this. It's MGMT with the album Congratulations. Now, this is like a pop rock band, but I would say I like about 60% to 65% of the album itself. It's got a similar feel to maybe the Zombies as far as being an organ-based band more than anything, but it's got a lot of like creepy, almost rockabilly parts to it, kind of Coffin Shakers-y, but a little bit more like the background music you would hear in like a Halloween cartoon. kind of feel to it. And I like that a lot. It's a really fun thing. And all the lyrics, I don't think any of these lyrics are about scary stuff. Especially because I don't know what any of it means. But, it explains whatever it is, what everything is on the back. I don't care enough to share that. But yeah, MGMT. Next, Rhythms or Rhymes of Lunacy by Memento Mori. Now, I didn't want to include Candlemass on this album, on this list, because I thought it was kind of obvious, because I think it fits well. Because I have a similar atmospheric thought of Candlemass as I do to King Diamond and stuff. It just has that feel for me. But this is the one and only album with Messiah Miracle in, if I remember right. He might have been on the second one. But this is from 93, so it's just after Candlemass for him. Just after is that Tales of Creation, I think, is the third Messiah album. Yeah, it is. So it's a little bit more power metal-y than just straight epic doom. But he lays his awesome vocals over this. And it is a wonderful, wonderful thing. I really, really dig how this captures a bit more of a heavy metal kind of, groove. Kind of like this kind of style, but not so hard rock as much as it is just the epicness. Oh, this is, I don't remember if I said it or not. Wolf Pup Session IPA. I might have said it. I don't even know. This is the second try filming this video, so. Memento Mori. Next. Oh man, you gotta have this in your Halloween playlist. They have a little bit of spooky themes later in their career, but at this point, no. This is the Ramones. This is just their self-titled. I have a compilation called Ramones Mania in the car right now. It's just a band that I really, really like for this time of the year. It's my annual punk mood, as I kind of call it. I love to listen to a lot of punk at this time of year. And the Ramones are one of my go-to bands, especially because I'm not a deep diver into punk. I am absolutely not Ground Zero Salem by any means. So this is a really, really awesome album. You guys all know it. It's just something about the fun, lightheartedness. Gives me a similar feel to like the campy cheeseball 80s movies. Big, big fan. It kind of just sounds like a simpler time. It sounds like a more lighthearted, enjoyable climate. The Ramones. Next, another non-metal album. This is a CD from my soundtracks collection. This is Scooby Doo and the Witch's Ghost. So like, this is a bunch of like the Hex Girls and stuff on there. If you guys are of the millennial age group, you guys are definitely probably familiar with the Hex Girls and the Scooby Doo stuff that they had on there. It's just, kind of spooky rock where they're, singing about cheeseball, Scooby Doo movie stuff. The Ghost is Here is on here. The Ghost is here, it's a thing. It's just, it's literally like a Hex Girls album for the most part. It's great. It's absolutely a boatload of fun. I'm actually going to take this in the car with me once I leave today, because I got to go to my parents later. Gotta love it. Get on that Scooby-Doo train, man. Another one that I thought was a border of, hey, this might be a little bit too generic to show, but I don't care, man. This is the self-titled Angel Witch. Another record that fits incredibly well into this year, or this time of the year for me. Now that I'm looking at it and reading the song titles and what I know about this band, I probably shouldn't be showing it. But again, it's just, it fits perfectly. It's a speedy, traditional metal album. It's not super speedy, but it has like what would be speed metal. It has the building blocks for it kind of built into it. You guys have all heard this. Another rare punk rock sighting in my collection. One of the other punk rock bands I like a lot, Fresh Fruit for Rotting Vegetables by the Dead Kennedys. I was listening to a different one of their albums today while cooking, and it is an enormous load of fun to listen to this band. I really, really dig a lot of the 80s-ness to it. I wasn't even alive in the 80s, so it's really something that I never got to experience firsthand. But this kind of feel of this stuff really kind of transports me a little bit back into that mindset of what was going on back in the day, even though I don't actually know what it was in particular. But the Dead Kennedys are a band that I really like when I get in these moods. And the last thing, another non-metal album. I chose a lot of non-metal because it's tough to get metal bands that aren't just singing about witches and stuff. So this is a weird copy of this album that I have. I think it's definitely like missing pieces, but this is Mortis, and it's just in this small sleeve. It's just the booklet and the disc. I believe I'm missing the back, which is obnoxious, but at the same time, I don't know if it has a back. If anybody knows a lot about this older pressing of this album, let me know. But Mortis, I mean, come on now. It's Mortis. You gotta love it. You gotta enjoy the spooky atmospheres, the beginning of Dungeon Synth, the first ever D&D music, specifically built for it pretty much. It's great stuff. So I think that'll do it for me today. Happy Halloween to you guys. It's Wednesday now, but I'm uploading this on the 30th, so I hope you guys really enjoy it. Should be a fun time. Should be a real good Halloween. What are you guys doing? Let me know in the comments if you care to. Feel free. Or if not, whatever. Keep it greasy, man.